Hello, Args. How are you doing?
I'm doing alright, FSG. How about yourself?
I am doing grand, thank you very much.
That's
Back
good.
on German soil.
Yes, we are. We are. Not the first time. Hopefully not the last.
Indeed, indeed. Enjoyed it last week, so looking forward to doing a bit more.
Yeah, and some nice positive comments from everyone on the two videos too, which was nice to see.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you all for those. So what have you got lined up for today?
So I'm very conscious that my root vegetables that I cut down last week are only worth about 5% in terms of quality of pig food, so I need to get something else into them. So I've got a field of oats that are ready to harvest, so I'm going to crack on with that.
Nice.
And I think you'd quite like the straw off that field as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, if it's no use to you, I'll definitely come and run the baler over it and get it put in a shed. It'll be good bedding for the cows.
Yep, no, you're welcome to it. And
Awesome.
what have you got planned?
I'm going to go mow the other two grass fields and maybe get them tedded, ready to get some hay made. Probably not today. Let it dry a little bit while we've got some nice sunshine, nice blue skies. But
Yeah, quite right.
Yeah, leave it sitting there. So probably by the time I've got that mowed and sort of thrown out and spread out, you'll might be halfway through your field and ready for some baling.
Yep. I don't mind giving you a hand shipping that back to the farm as well. So.
Yeah, perfect. All right. Well, if you need a hand as well, you're pretty close there with where your silo is, isn't it? It's hard to trek.
It's pretty close. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much we get out of the field yield-wise as well. So might even just fill a trailer. We'll see.
You got a bit of shopping to do too first, don't you? No header?
I do. I don't have a cereal header, so yeah, I need to go and get one of them.
Nice. Enjoy. I've got to get a tedder, but I'll worry about that a little bit later.
Yep. Well, sounds like we've got a plan.
All right.
Crack on with it.
Yeah, enjoy. We'll catch up with you soon.
Likewise, mate. Have fun.
Cheers, you too. Hello everyone, welcome back to North Frisian with the Farm Sim Guy and myself, running our separate farms of course, which is a little bit of a different thing, but thank you all very much everyone who watched it, watched the first episode, all the positive comments, wonderful comments we got from those. It was very warm-heartening, very warming to hear those comments and that everyone enjoyed it. Obviously last time we got those bales done and all wrapped, helped FSG out with his beats, but today we're going to go and find our tractor, not that one, we want the bigger tractor, get the mowers hooked back up, and we're going to go and get 2 more fields mowed, ready to make some hay. We do actually have to probably think about getting some grass. There's actually no food in here for any of the animals. As you can see down there, health and reproduction is at 0, so I might even consider just baling a little bit of grass, just to get some couple of grass bales in there to start off with as well, maybe headland, and if I leave that windroad, I can take the headland off and we can take that, get it baled, and then into the cows. So at least they have some food. I should have done it last week, wasn't really thinking, but there, mowers are there. Baler's still on the back of the tractor. Around the other side where there's a bit more space, we'll get that unhooked, everything else connected up, and we'll go and get into some mowing. So everything all hooked up there, got our flashes on, safety first of course, and we're going to head on down this way. Now we've got 2 fields. There is the first one is just past here, which is the bigger of the 2, and I think we need to go down the road here just a little bit to get into it. In fact, I think here is the field entrance right here, so we'll go and tackle this one first. And in the other field, we've got to go through the field we did last time and go over the drain down the back, over the ditch over the back, and that is where we will go and find that one. But let's get ourselves in here. We'll get some mowers set up, we'll get them all unfolded. I think we might go around this field, like I said, go around this field once with the windrow down, come back and bale that, just to get some grass in for the cows, and the rest of it we will wide swath it and worry about that. Now, why is that delivery cost popping up there on mine? Not sure what's going on with that. Didn't take any money out, there must be something from last time. That is us all sorted with our headlands and rows and all of that sort of thing, so I think we'll just power that all up. Press that button there. Get some more deliveries there. I don't know whether that's because we've got contractor status on FSG's farm or what the story is there, but that's us all up and moving. He's obviously trying to buy that header. We could be stuck with having store deliveries delivering products to my farm, which would be a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. We'll make do with that. But there we go. We are off and underway. We'll get here to the corner. We'll try and make it a little bit neater than we have been. Doing as tight as we can. Press that again. There we go. Right. That's us off and moving. So like I said, we'll go around this once with the with the swath dropping set up, and then we'll turn that off and we will go to some wide swath dropping. So let's just carry on, get this field mowed and into it. we go, first lap done and dusted, so we're just going to lift that up. There goes FSG, racing down there with his header. Nice to see him with his beacons on as well, giving us a toot on the way past. Nice looking header, good size there for his combine. But anyhow, we're down here. If we go through and is it Y? There we go. It's going to lift up, it's going to lift up. We want them both up. There we go. That should now allow us to wide swath and drop everything without having to worry about it. So press to get that lowered down, those lowered down. There we go. Hopefully it's going to hook up on a path. And get this all spread out so we're able to leave it to dry. We'll run through it later on with the tedder and get it made into some hay. So let's carry on, get this field done. I dare say we're going to get a decent amount of hay bales just off this field alone. What did we get? Silage 34 or something off that bale, off that field next door to us last time. So I reckon there's 40 plus bales in this one, which would be good. And then we've got a dart over. If you can just make out on the other side of the solar panels, there's a bit of land over there. That is ours. But if we just run around, and if you've been paying attention, you might have noticed there's actually no way to get to it from this field. So we are going to have to dart over the back out onto the road, come back down, cross one of the bridges there through the other field. So it's not ideal, but it is what it is. Anyhow, what I'm just going to go and do there is a little bit that we haven't quite got harvested just yet, which is mowing, which was just down here. So hopefully we'll just head on down this path. We should go and find where that is, and we will go and get that sorted out. I don't know why we're going so slow. Actually, we'll not go any faster because we've got everything raised up. Some resistance from the grass. I'm not actually sure. I haven't experienced that before. Anyhow, might not need the back bars on. Anyhow, might be able to get those folded up. Let's see if we can just do this with the front one. It's only a very, very small little piece up in here, and then we'll go and take and check out. See if we can see FSG. I know here he is working around the edge of the field. I know he made a start in there with his oat harvest, so we'll go and take a look at that too. Right, here we go. We do only need that one, so we'll get these turned off on the back, get them all folded up. There we go, get that one mowing, and once we're done there, we'll be able to do the same with this. Alright, beacons on briefly. We are going out on the road. We do want to be safe and be seen, so let's head on down and go and make a start on the next field. Here we are, just entering our way into the field. Not as big, this one's not going to take us very long to get done at all, so we'll just head on in here. Could have actually come either of those bridges. Probably could have actually gone out and around the road. There's a few different ways we could get here, but this one will do. So get that unfolded, get the one on the back here unfolded, turn those lights off, we'll set up our steering assist, and we'll get to it. There we go, all up and underway. Easy as that. Like I said, this is nowhere near as big a field as the one we've just done, so we should get through it reasonably quickly. Lovely solar panels in here. Look really, really good actually. Really big fan of those. Not sure if you can buy them, whether they become a income producer for us. Maybe it could be something we could look at. Diversifying into solar panels. Anyhow, let's worry about that a little bit later. For now, we need to carry on and get this field mowed. So we can go and start getting some straw baled. There we go, job is done. That field did not take us very long at all, which is good. Right, get everything lifted up, turned off, folded up, and we're going to head on back over to the farm. Now, we've been having a bit of a chat to FSG while we've been doing that. As you can see, we just take a look. In fact, we'll go and drive over to the edge of the field and have a look at it that way, because that'll be a even better way to see how much progress he has, or as the case may be, hasn't made. So there we go, not even one headland round, but as you can see, as you look across the field, it is a very awkwardly shaped field. You can see he's just running down here to finish off what will be the first headland pass, but there's some trees in the middle, there's a bit of a pond I think over there. It does make it a little bit awkward from a shape perspective, but it's probably a little bit early for us to get in there and start doing any baling, because I think if we got any bales on these end rows, they'd just be in the way and make it annoying for him when he comes to turn and all that sort of thing. So we'll let him carry on with his combining for just a little bit longer, then get that field properly opened up. Once it's open, once he's got a couple of headlands off and some space to turn around, it'll go pretty quick, because there's not too much of the field left actually by the time he's taken those two headlands off. So yeah, it should go reasonably fast for him, but we're going to leave that for now. We're going to head on over, find ourselves a pressure washer, because look at the state of these mowers after a couple extra fields, and then we're going to go and buy a tedder. We need to bale the outside of that first field, and I did talk last time about what we're going to do to regenerate our grass. What do we need to do in terms of applying fertilizer, rolling and that sort of thing. So we might take a look at what we can do for that. Beacons on, we're on the road. Right, let's go and have a look. Alright, well there we go, we've gone and sorted ourselves out a pressure washer, I reckon. Somewhere just in here, so we can use it when we come in and out of the yard. Kind of accessible. Probably should have somewhere we can get some power to it, but this is just going to be as good a place as any. It's a mobile one, isn't it? So it must actually be battery powered. I'm guessing it is. Right, let's jump out of that, and if we go and grab the wand, let's go and give everything a quick wash off and get everything detached. There we go, that's looking much cleaner. Be happy to take those off and leave them sitting in the yard now. Right, go over and put this back down here. Let's jump back up on these and go and get them unhooked. So the baler's back hooked up onto the fence. We're going to go and take the Vulture, get the bale chaser here unhooked, and we're going to head on down and go and find ourselves a tedder. And we'll take a look down there too. We might look at some grassland rollers as well. But let's jump up in here and go for a little drive down to the shop. So, time to take a look here and go shopping. Now, we're just going to jump down here. Just two things we need. We want a tedder. Just take a look in here. A couple of options. I think what we're going to go for is the Crone, the Vendro 820 Highland. It is 8.2 meters wide, so slightly narrower, about 7.7 of a meter narrower than the Smaz. But other than that, pretty much exactly the same. So we are going to go and pick ourselves up one of these. Go and buy that. Here we go. It was quite, we just have a look there, it's quite a big step up in price to go to the 17 meter one, so really not really worth the effort. Windrows, we'll just take a quick look in here. Don't know if we'll buy this today, but we've got a couple of modded options in here, which I think we will be looking at using. Either the Class Liner 2700, which is a 7.4 meter wide windrow, or we've got the option there for the Crone Swadro 900, which is 9 meters wide, so slightly wider, slightly more expensive, but I think keeping with the brand, we can try and look here at the Crone. Both of these are mods that are available in Mod Hub if you're looking for something as an alternative to the equivalent to Mars here, which is the 8.4 meter wide in-game windrow. Other than that, you're looking at some quite expensive pieces of equipment once you start getting up into these really big ones, but this is much more affordable for where we sit. So yeah, that's our options in there. We'll worry about that at a later date when we actually need it. But while we're here as well, just take a look into our grassland gear. We've really only got the one option here with the Delbo roller. It is a 6.3 meter wide roller. We'll see it there. So that would be an option there to run that across our grassland and potentially recover that. But we won't worry again about that until after we have got all the hay baled and taken off the fields. Might even look and see if there's something on Mod Hub which will do the same job, just something a little bit different. But anyhow, then take a look here at our new Tedder. Very nice indeed. Right, get the tractor, go and get this hooked up and head on back down to the field. So I'm not going to lie, this almost looks undersized on the back of this tractor. This isn't even our biggest tractor, but it's going to work out well, I reckon. Now, let's get ourselves turned into here. FSG was just on the radio. He pointed out, and people have probably been screaming at us already, oats are not a pig food. So he's kind of, actually get that unfolded, he's kind of backed himself into a little bit of a corner there. It needs to be wheat or canola. So I'm sure he can sell the oats, make some money off those, and that will work out for him in much the same way as what he's got. But here we go, lesson learned. Right, those beacons turned off. Let's set ourselves up with some steering assist here. Hopefully we can get this working without running over our rows that we've already got as grass. Should be alright, and get into it. I was just testing, just driving forward on the first row just to make sure it wasn't going to be a problem, and it looks like we should be fine. Obviously slightly narrower than the mower, but it's going to work all the same. Right, let's get into this. Get this turned on, get that activated, and see that drawing down into grass. Quite a different colour actually, really, isn't it? Very, very noticeable. Is that the base game colour, or is that a... I wonder if that's a custom texture here on the map, because that does feel quite a lot different to some of the other hay we've made drawing down grass. Interesting. Intrigued to see what it looks like when it comes out of the baler. But for now, we're just going to get this done so that we can leave it here to dry a little bit more in the sun and focus on some of the other tasks. But let's carry on, get this all tedded and ready to be made in some hay. Well, there we are. That is the first field tedded. Didn't take too long at all, but not getting a little bit repetitive. I was going to say not getting a bit repetitive, but we're sort of just getting stuck into doing the same things. Talking to FSG, and you can see over there they're getting through the work over there, which is good. Probably not far away from being able to go over and actually make a start on some baling. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn the beacons on while we're on the road, and we're going to get this one field done because it shouldn't take too long. It's a bit smaller, probably half the size maybe of the one we've just done. So if we get that done, then we can go over and see. So we look over there, decent chunk of that field is being taken out now. So we'll go and get some baling done with some straw soon. But let's get down in here, let's carry on and get this one all done as well. Well, I deliberately did not show you much of that because it was just a bit of rinse and repeat from what we've done previously. But there we go, tedded field tedded, field done. Grass all drying out nicely, which is perfect. So like I said, we are going to leave it just sitting here now for a wee while. Just get that lifted up, turned off, folded up. We are going to leave that sitting there for a wee while now and just let it dry out just a little bit more, just to make the most of this nice weather we've got at the moment. I do see some rain on the horizon. Whether it's going to actually come, whether it's going to impact us or not, but we've got good drying conditions at the moment. So let's just let that do its thing, and hopefully we can make the most of that. Now we are going to move on and head on over into here and go and tidy up all the straw that FSG has left on the ground. Now he was using a bit of hired help there for a while, so we've got some funny looking angles going on, but you must be quite a way through it, I reckon. You can't have too much more to go, so we might go and we'll go and grab the baler, obviously, and we will go and have a chat to him and see what he is up to. I do have that single field I was going to run around too with that grass, so I might go and do that first. But here we go. You can see him, he's just off to unload, so keeping himself busy. Right, let's go. We'll park this up somewhere. I'm just going to put it over here. It's going to need a wash and figure out where its home's going to be, but let's just leave that there for now. Jump on out, go and grab the baler. So we will just very quickly shoot on down this way. It's only a single lap of the field, so we'll go and get it done. We'll have a look, see how many bales we make off it. I will reset the bale counter when we go in here. We've almost got a full bale sitting in the baler too, which is good. So we'll just get this turned in. I do want to get a bit of feed in for the cows, so I was actually thinking we could just about come over with the tally handler and load straight in with the straight into the feed mixer actually. But there we go, get that turned on, lower it down. Let's just bring up this. We want to reset our bale counter, so Alt X. There we go, back to 0. So let's carry on, go and see how many bales we get off this little bit. It won't take us too long to get around. Alright, and there we go, job done, 11 bales, so that's not bad. That'll be good for the cows. Of course we've got unload bales early on, so we can actually drop those bales off even if they're not full. So let's head on down the road once more, beacons on, and we'll go and make a start on the straw. Now the one thing I am going to do before we do that is actually change our bale sizes, so I'll double check what our bale stacker will take. I'm pretty sure it will take the 240s, but before we do crack into it I will make sure we can do that, and we'll get those all sorted out. Let's just have a look. Pull in here and get into it. Okay, not too much more for FSG to do. Right, let's have a look, see what we need to do. So we go, just checking in the store, we can go up to 240 centimeters. So exit out of here, we are going to change our bale size, up that up to 240, just so we don't have to have quite so many bales. Turn those beacons off. This all unfolded, and then we're going to crack into it. Right, there we go. Power on, lower that down. I don't have access to the land. We might have to make contractor status. I thought we would have with FSG. Let's just see. Argsy at FSG.
Go ahead, Args.
Just pulled into the field to start the straw and it's telling me I don't have access. Am I a contractor?
Let me check. I thought you were, but I will update for you. Give me 1 second.
No worries, I can see you turning around down there.
Argsy, you appear to have all permissions.
So if you click on Argsy's farm, does it have contractor access?
Grant contractor, there we go.
Perfect.
I thought I'd done that last week. There we go.
I thought you had too. Right, let's have a look. Here we go. Picking up some straw now. Right, into it.
Splendid.
Alright, see you soon.
See you soon.
Alright, there we are. That is all sorted out and we are underway. Getting some bales made. So they're going to be, what, 9,000 litre bales, I think, doing this. Do have to be careful when we're making TMR mix. We're going to top it up with straw that we don't go over top. But at least if it's just for bedding, then that will allow us to get a decent amount in there. So, well, nothing left to do. We're just going to crack on and see how much of this we can get done. I think, well, up to FSG, but when he's finished with the harvesting, he's welcome to come and collect the bales, or we might even swap out with him. He did that for us last time. He might just want to sit in here and run the baler, and we can go and do that. We'll see what he wants to do.
FSG targets.
You go ahead, mate.
You're going to have a lot of bales here, mate.
Yeah, I've made them the big ones as well. So a fair few thousand litres of straw out here.
Where would you like them putting? Do you have storage?
There's a shed actually you access off the road, sort of opposite where we wrapped those bales last week. I don't know if you'll be able to unload into those, but could have a look at that and see if that'll work. Otherwise I don't think there's a shed that's high enough.
Yeah, we don't have a storage shed, do you?
Nah. Now if I had anywhere object storage I could have put it in there, but maybe it's something we can add into the server.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Are you happy?
Alright, well I'll pick these up and I'll shout before I dump the first load just to make sure you're happy.
Okay, cool. You happy doing that? You didn't want to run a baler?
No, this is good fun.
Okay, cool.
Nice one.
Thank you. Right, well there we go. FSG's finished all his harvesting, and he is going to go and pick up our bales for us, which is nice. After obviously we're taking all his straw off him too. As he said though, we are going to get a fair few bales. I was just curious actually if we just have a quick look. We'll get onto the straight part. A bit awkward how the AI worker and then FSG and everything did this corner, but we're at 36 and we started off at 11, so we've already got 24 straw bales sitting out there, so we are going to end up with a decent chunk of straw off this field, but not going to complain, right? We need it, the cattle need it, and we'll be able to use it in a few different ways. Well, I think we are just about done. FSG's picking up the last couple of bales. I think, what is there? There's one here. I'm almost going to get, almost going to have got them all in one go, but he's going to have to make one run back over here just to get those last ones. Actually interesting that he was able to pretty much catch up, or even more so, or definitely catch up with us. He started a bit later, but was able to keep in touch. Of course, obviously the bales are a lot bigger than they could have been in terms of a size, so that probably made a bit of a difference. Right, there we go. There's probably a little bit of straw floating around, but not enough to make that final bale up. So let's just turn the baler off. Oops, turn it off, lift that up, and we will get that unloaded. That'll unload the first two. Forward, and if we press it again, it's going to go through and unload that partial bale. Alright, there we go. It's going to leave that in a nice straight line for FSG to come over and pick up. Just have a quick look. Yeah, just those 4 bales. That's all there is. So we'll just wait here and see him when he gets these done. Alright, and here he is coming through to pick those ones up. Left them in a nice straight line for him. A little bit ambitious and eager to pick them up. There we go. Get those ones there done. And then just one more down there, and that will be the field all cleared. What do we actually end up with? Didn't actually have a look. 71, so that's 60 straw bales at 9,000 litres each, 540,000 litres of straw. Let's just take a look, because that should figure out now. While I'm in here, I am going to go through and press that Alt X and just clear that bale counter. So we've got it all ready for next time. It's not showing up our straw because it's not actually anywhere. Oh, we've got a little bit of milk we need to sell, but there we go. This amount of grass too. That is all our grass that will be fermenting.
Hey mate.
How you doing?
That was a bit of a slog, wasn't it?
Well, it felt like it for you, that's for sure.
So, you know how you are a bit of a stickler for lovely, neat, tidy stacking and nice piles and things like that?
I'm guessing you're referring to the bales here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Put it this way, shed and trailer didn't quite fit together as well as I was expecting.
Right. So
on a plus point, they're not going to get wet.
Okay. So what you're telling me is to close my eyes and just not look when I drive past the shed?
Probably best to do that, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and maybe anywhere object storage might be an investment that we add to the server, and it might tidy some of the slightly questionable stacking up.
Alright, I'd have to go and have a look. I do have to go and have a look.
I know you are.
Yeah. Alright, well thanks for the help getting those all picked up, and thanks for the straw.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, that's a good chunk of bales there. That'll get you going in feed and bedding for a long time.
Yeah, I think I figured out those 60 straw bales, so, and they were 9,000 litres each, so 500,000 litres of straw.
Wow.
Not
Yeah,
bad.
that's a lot.
Not bad. Alright buddy, well I'm going to go have a look at this shed and get out of here, and I guess we'll catch you with you next week.
Yes indeed. Alright mate.
Good fun.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Take care. Catch you soon.
Cheers.
See ya. Bye. Well, this I have to see. Let's go and have a look at what sort of mess FSG has managed to get into this time. Now we were using the shed down here on the left, go down past the house, and in here. I thought this would be perfect for our bales, and well, it is, I guess. You got one of them stacked pretty well. Let's get out of his way enough. Let's just jump out here and have a look. Oh, yeah, he got one of them stacked really well. Let's just admire that one. He'll probably come in and knock it over now to unload. But there we go. It's not the easiest shed. It certainly was never going to work the way you'd expect it to. Just too high. Just too high to get them unloaded. But that's right. I think we might invest in some anywhere object storage. That's what I created it for. This sort of shed is exactly the reason why we made it. So maybe it'll be perfect for us.
We got one of them still standing.
Yeah, no, so I was just admiring that. Actually, you did well to get that one in here.
Yeah, when you watch it back, you'll see the trailer does end up stuck in the roof a few times.
Yeah, right. No, I figured. I think I heard you complaining about it at some stage. Probably shouldn't be in here without a hard hat on.
I'm going to tip the last 4 outside the shed and just nudge them in with the tractor, I think.
Good idea. Nice. Oh, good job, mate. I appreciate the help. Well, there we go. On that note, as FSG unloads those last couple, you can see there, that trailer's just too high. It's not appropriate for stacking into this shed, so we'll worry about that. We'll get it tidied up and get it sorted out at a later date. But there we go. That's us done and dusted. We'll be back next time, hopefully to make some hay, get the grass fields sorted out, get those all rolled or whatever we're going to do with those. FSG is probably going to have some field now to prep. Then we've got some corn to harvest at some stage, so plenty more things to do here on the farm. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed this episode from the Farm Sim Guy and myself. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.